Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to a brand new TEW2020 video. One, I don't want to say it was special, but one with definitely a very big cause towards it. At the moment in time, this will be probably a finale. It might come back, it might be hiatus for this particular AEW save. So I'll try and keep this as short as possible so we can get into the actual show itself. But we've been playing this save now for probably 2.5 years. I know that I've probably more veered towards trying to get 100 rated matches and try to get the achievements on TW rather than going for storyline driven stuff, which I feel is kind of taken away from kind of what I was wanting to do with the save in particular. So, also common knowledge as I do backdate a lot of videos, I do go through proper booking sprees where momentum flows, and this has actually been recorded literally the day it'll go live, but yeah, I haven't booked in TW in like 2 months, to be honest. So I was a bit out of the loop. There's a lot of matches that have been thrown together here, just to have a kick-ass show. But there's a lot of storyline stuff from storylines we've had going forward. But I just feel like I want to try something different going into 2024. Whether that's going to be TW or Pro Wrestling Sim, I don't know. I still don't see a lot of people talking about Pro Wrestling Sim, which means I don't know if it's quite at the level where it develops a good universe, if you get me, with the options that it's got. But I'm open to ideas. As I say, if anybody's getting ideas of what they'd like to see game-wise, save-wise, error-wise, let me know. As I say, it'll be a few weeks into 2024 before we kick on with it. It's going to take time, because I need to, first of all, book maybe a month or two just to get into the swing of things, and if I feel comfortable and happy with it, that's when we can start to go. Because I've tried a few things, I've tried many saves in Pro Wrestling Sim especially, and I get like a month in and just lose, because a lot of stuff is a lot of booking. It's like more than multiple shows, and it's maybe I'm needing to dumb it down for myself to book one or two, but maybe me wants to go for world expansion. So there's that. As I say never with this save as well. It might come back in a few months' time, you don't know, but I like booking stuff, but I just feel it's time for something fresh. So any ideas, please let me know. As I say, your support and all that has been appreciated for the journey way back when we started this save, which would have been 2021 for off All Out, which is pretty mad. Anyway, we're here for the Burn Nothing, our present conclusion. It's 2028, which is mad. So how many double nothings is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's our 7th double nothing. It is stacked. I have properly went for all these great matches, but as I say, a few storyline stuff. And yeah, let's hope it is a good show. And I've extended it from 5 hours to 5.5, so I could get everyone as possible on the card. So sit back, relax, and enjoy AEW Double or Nothing 2028. Let's do it. So I probably should add it as well, that one thing that annoyed me a bit is obviously pop caps. There's a lot of people I wanted to push, and like they were limited at like an upper mid card or mid carder, and I feel like obviously as you get in time with wrestling, people's potential change. Some people you don't expect to burst through, and yeah, people's skill sets develop far better in real life than you see reflected in the game. So a bit of that. And obviously, and I've had this every time from playing EWR right through to TW, your database of wrestler expands like nothing else. Like I was thinking the other day, like Swerve Strickland is Shane Strickland. Oh my god, I remember him in EWR, and I was like, who's this guy? I didn't even have a picture for him. And you're thinking that's probably 14 years ago. Frightening. And that's just one example. As I say, when I used a lot of guys that I use most of the time now, as their careers are winding down. You know, your proper guys who are at their peak then, and it's like it's crazy to think back. But anyway, just a wee tangent there. But here we are for Double or Nothing. We are in the Beaver Stadium, 106,572, so we have a sellout, and we had the pre-show match, the one and only, which was going to be the Queen of AEW World Champion. Of course, that's the Collision Women's Championship, and the champion Steph Delander. It's been a championship belt that's elevated a lot of talents. And she took on the upstart. It was, of course, Billy Starks. Back and forth the last couple of weeks on Collision, and they had a good pre-show match with Billy Starks picking up the win over Steph Delander in 12-19 by pinfall. New champion, new era, should be hit it even, and a 72 rated match overall. 83 performance from Steph Delander, pretty good stuff, but Billy leaves as champion. On the main broadcast, they don't trade words in a sports entertainment like style. in the ring anyway. They do it in a kind of vignette. We're documenting our two main matches this evening for the AEW World Championship between Jay White and the champion Will Ospreay, and of course a long-standing feud between Roman and MJF, of course, who is the face of professional wrestling. I've opted for the World Championship to main event, although could we have possibly done a Jericho and Triple H against a Hogan and The Rock? We'll find out, but it was my cheap way of getting a 100 rated segment with all the boosts as well, in hope for a 100 rated show overall. You gotta do it. Straight in with an absolute banger, and it was a matchup between Swerve and Okada to start off the show on a brilliant note. Exceptional matchup here as Swerve picked up the win over Okada in 2058 with the Swerve Stomp. 93, 91 played in 96, two guys that worked well together. Not too much storyline behind it, but I think a lot of you'll notice with the results is it'll put me in a position where I come back to, if I ever come back to the save, should I add that word, you've got something to work off of. Swerve score off a big win like that, you could put him in a fantastic position. Good start though. And another 90. We then had the superb wrestling match in good heat for the Shine Championship, the Women's Championship on Rampage. And it was Killer Kelly who defeated Mayu Yamashita in 12:58 by submission for defence of the Shine title. A 90 and an 88 and 91 rated matchup overall. Was just regular. So great stuff from the women's division. One of many women's matches on the card. Then had some words from Swerve, and he just cuts a promo basically saying, you just saw whose house this really is. It's Swerve's house. I've just taken on one of the greatest wrestlers that Japan's ever produced, and I've beat them. I was so close to becoming AEW World Champion, wasn't it, Will Ospreay? But it's only going to be a matter of time before AEW's Championship is Swerve's. So 83 promo for Swerve. Then had a matchup which I think would have been exceptional, but unfortunately the lack of psychology has crushed its rating. Here with a superb wrestling match with great heat as Ilya Dragunov defeated Buddy Matthews and Kota Ibushi in 12:26 when Dragunov pinned Buddy with the Torpedo Moscow, and it gave him his fifth defence of the TNT Championship, 78, and you can see there Buddy has 71, 93, 90 for Kota and Dragunov, and a lack of psychology. So I think maybe Kota would have had the highest psychology at 82, made the match steal the show, and sadly just a 78. We then had a bout for the TBS Championship, and it was a superb wrestling match with great heat, as Toni Storm's not timeless here, but she has a great matchup here with Io Shirai, and she wins in 13:43 with the strong zero, and this gives her 8th defence of the TBS Championship. 82, Io Shirai with a fantastic 91 performance. Unfortunately, she does sustain chronic shoulder pain, which would have took a few points off the segment rating, but the champ retains. Thanks, Phil. He's still cutting about. Next up, we had the Women's Tag Team Championships on the line, a superb wrestling match with great heat. Saw Julia team up with Konami, and they defeated the champions Bayley Rose and Becky Quinn in 11:45 when Julia pinned Bayley Rose with a diving crossbody. New Women's World Tag Team Champions, the team of Julia and Konami. You can see there a 90, spectacular stuff again in the women's division. All good performances there, the weakest being Bayley, win 85, and again, just a regular match. I did do the motivational speech beforehand to try and, let's go out of a bang, basically. So, good stuff there. We then had a little promo backstage. It was the team of Sammy Guevara, Jack Perry and Darby Allin, basically saying they started this journey all at the same time as 3 of the 4 pillars of AEW. It's time for them to come together to take on FTR and Wardlow in an upcoming trios match. 81. Match itself had great wrestling. 89 was the overall segment result, which is great. It was about had great wrestling, good heat as Wardlow and FTR defeated Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara and Jack Perry in 14:26 when Cash Wheeler pinned Jack Perry with an unskinny bop following a distraction from CM Punk. When big scenarios have happened in real life, you've got to poke fun at it, so I thought let's just finish it up with Punk having a little dig back at Jack Perry. So 89 there, win for FTR and Wardlow, and then a few words from Punk just basically berating Jack Perry, as you do. 87. Moving along with a match up for the International Championship, It was about that superb wrestling and great heat. We had Rush defeat Ricky Starks in 13:59 with a Rush driver. He's your new international champion. But because he'd only got an 82, I thought Rush would carry that a bit more with psychology, but not to be the case. But not too bad when you get a 95 rated performance when you're off your game. Starks is one person the data just wasn't very kind to, whether it be star quality, ovalness, you name it. It's just one of those ones. Then a little elaborate entrance for the upcoming tag match, not for the championship. It's just a few teams getting their hands on each other. And Mox and Tyler Black come through the crowd to an 85 rated segment. The battle is between Hangman Adam Page and Adam Cole, Steiner Rico, Tyler Black and Jon Moxley. And here we had superb wrestling and great heat as Adam Page and Adam Cole defeat Steiner Rico and Tyler Black and Jon Moxley in 18:28 when Hangman finally gets revenge over Mox and Black when he pins Jon Moxley with a buckshot lariat. So obviously that feud's been going for God knows how long between Hangman, Adam Cole and MJF against, of course, Mox, Black and Anoa'i. So Hangman gets the win here. Adam Page, 88 rated matchup. Good stuff. Next up, we had the usual 10-man, these people weren't in feuds, but wanted them on the card matchup. So superb matchup saw the babyfaces pick up the win, as it was the team of Daniel Garcia, Brody King, Malachi Black, Hikaru Takahashi and Hook, who defeated Andrade, Cody Rhodes, Pac, Bryan Danielson and Richard Holiday. 10:19 when Hook submitted Bryan Danielson. Obviously Bryan's physicals are shot, his ability's going down, so I feel he's someone who would absolutely say, yeah, Hook, you can get the win over me. So 80 rated segment. We then had a 4-way matchup for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. The champs Aussie Open defending against the Lucha Bros, the Briscoes, and the Grizzled Young Veterans, the GYV. It was about to have some superb wrestling with good heat, as Aussie Open defeated the Lucha Bros, the Briscoes, and the Grizzled Young Veterans in 18:05 when Kyle Fletcher pinned James Drake with a Tombstone Piledriver, giving Aussie Open their 5th defence of the belts. Some great performances in there. Weakest links would have been the Briscoes with 71 and 78 thanks to a physical decline. You can see the likes of, well, both Penta and Ray Phoenix in the 90s, Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher in the 90s, as well as Zach Gibson. Very surprised Mark Davis went 85. Fair play, fella. Fair play. But good stuff there in the tag division. Another triple threat match for the Women's Championship, and this one actually was a wee bit disappointing. I thought it would have done better. But former tag team champions, of course, Mayu Iwatani and Deonna Purrazzo, challenging Anna Jay. All three babyfaces may have hampered the matchup. Let's have a look. Do we get any negatives on that? No. Oh well, I thought that maybe would be a bit an issue, but superb wrestling anyway. Great heat. Anna Jay defeats Deonna and Mayu in 20:30 when Anna Jay pinned Mayu Iwatani with a scissor kick. Second defence of the AEW Women's Championship. Let's be honest, Mayu's been absolutely carrying this division for a while. She's started to take a lot of women up to that level. Anna Jay, especially in overness. But on this occasion, the weakest women's match so far on the main show, with more to follow. We then had the AEW Collision Championship on the line. So this one was basically, a story behind it was Keith Lee had been basically annoying CM Punk that he was the champion of his show. He had various qualifiers and these men made up the qualifiers for the match. So they all won matches to get here. But had some great wrestling and good heat, but it was Keith Lee who prevailed against Bandito, Drew Galloway, Lee Moriarty, Powerhouse Hobbs and Lee Lindemann in 14:12 when Keith Lee pinned Lee Moriarty with a Spirit Bomb. Second defence of the Collision Championship, you can see there 80s across the board, apart from Drew Galloway, who is a bit rusty, hadn't really wrestled too often recently, and an 85 was the segment result. Solid stuff. Then I had a little promo with Veronica. She says, was having the greatest run ever, 100 victories was about to be in her grasp, and Elena Black was the one that cost her Saraya, but she's going to get her revenge, she's going to get her win back, and she is going to kick off another run towards the championship. So 83 from Veronica, our only real new gen that's came through that I've actually pushed, which again is something I need to focus on going forward. The matchup was okay, fantastic heat, good wrestling, And Veronica defeated Elena Black in 16:29, a 24 with the Lockgrave Slice. 79 rated match. Elena off her game, a 73 and a 76. Did make it storytelling, but yeah. In the context of things, not great. Then I had the Trios Championship on the line. This matchup was the Elite, the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega taking on Top Flight along with El Hijo del Vikingo. And these three were two teams were bangers. Kenny's obviously in a big physical decline, as is Matt Jackson to be fair, after a big injury. But superb wrestling, good heat, and the Elite defeat Vikingo and Top Flight in 13:36 when Kenny pinned Dante with the one winged angel. 6th defence of the Trios Championship, a 94 rated matchup. Obviously made it steal the show. Lovely stuff. Then had Protege versus Mentor. You know, these two were together for a long time before Mercedes just lost the plot and started beating down Roxy. I don't think Roxy is ever going to be allowed to be put over by Mercedes. We haven't got her over enough in terms of popularity. So we had them with a banger. Superb matchup. Mercedes defeats Roxy in 13:25, 83. We can maybe look at it as Roxy if she was coming to this, maybe like a failure storyline. Can she get to the level of Mercedes going forward? So close, but 96 here is sensational wrestling and fantastic heat. Saw Takeshita defeat Walter in 24:36 with the Wall of Takeshita. This feud's been going for a long time. They have the previously time limit draw. Then it had to be a winner, and it was Takeshita picking up that win with a 96. As we're closing in on the main event, as much as it is now the co-main event. So we get a hype package for MJF and Roman and I, 79, just documenting the road to this matchup. We get the special MJF entrance, which is only a 78. MJF looked good. Match itself, 93, not too bad. It was an exceptional matchup. MJF defeated Roman and I in 32 minutes and 3 seconds by pinfall with a Swanton bomb. So MJF proves he is the face of wrestling with the win over Roman. 93, Roman brought in 99. Both guys had pretty good chemistry together, and that's with MJF off his game. I'm assuming a negative there. Not very good babyface, so that would have cost that a few points, but overall, solid stuff. As it's time for the main event for the AEW World Championship. Champion Will Ospreay, challenger Jay White, who also bring us a 93. So no 100 rated matchup tonight. That still continues to elude me. But it's sensational wrestling, fantastic heat, and Jay White defeated Will Ospreay in 25-23 with the Blade Runner. Jay's your new champion. That was always the plan. The plan from pretty much before Ospreay won it was to get the title on Jay at one point in this year. And he ends the show as champion. And a 79 rated segment to celebrate. I think with the 100 segment at the start, the boosts and a lot of good matches, I think this will be a 100 show pretty easily. Yep, as expected. The boosts always help. So yeah, it's been a good run. As I say, so many attempts there to try and get the 100 rated match, but I think it's just a case of I was watching too much of the completionist and I thought I want to complete this, but it didn't help that I had to unlicense the game halfway through, so it lost a few things that I did. But I hope you've enjoyed the series. I don't want to say it's definitely done. You might see it back after a little hiatus, but honestly, any ideas you've got are much appreciated. Let me know. And of course, your support, if you have watched them and enjoyed along the way, comments, etc., have always been appreciated. The wee thumbs up and even the wee thumbs down on Reddit that people didn't like it. But hey, maybe that was just because it was getting plugged on Reddit. Who knows? But hey, we all play the same game. We all got the same passion, and we all watch wrestling, so we're all terrible people. Let's be honest, the way social media is with wrestling, it's terrible. But nah, thanks. Most importantly, thanks so much for watching. It's been appreciated, and hopefully I'll see you in a few weeks for a new adventure. So take care of yourselves. Always check out the Grey Dog Software forums, the Fantasy Booker subreddit, and wherever else you'll get your booking needs, because obviously we've got more than just TW. You get Pro Wrestling Sim and many others. So thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.